So we're motoring on now with the course and we're getting up to actually buying a property. So once you've found a property that you want to buy, the first thing you need to do is survey it. Now, if you're buying at auction, really, you've got to be a standard yourself that you can survey the house. To be honest, it doesn't take that long. Surveys aren't that great. It's you can look at a roof, see if it's broken. You can fairly easily see if there's damp. Don't be afraid to stick damp meters into walls. You know, you're spending a lot of money. I got a hard stare once from an estate agent because I took a light fitting out and stuck my hand up into the ceiling to see if it was insulated. It wasn't. And I negotiated a discount on the house price, saying it needs insulation in the roof. So it's it's a big purchase. You need to be sure what you're doing, and one of the ways of being sure what you're doing is by doing a survey. Now, if you're doing it by private treaty, then sure, get a surveyor in, make sure everything's right. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. If you're a new investor or even just a private buyer looking at this kind of video to see how this process works, is get the surveyor in, but beware the limitations of a survey. They won't lift carpets, they won't go into lofts generally, they won't move things. So if I had a big damp patch on a wall as a seller and I move the sofa in front of it, it'll never get seen because the surveyor just won't do that kind of thing. So they are limited. So that's why it's quite easy to do your own once you've got a bit of experience. You know, you get a damp meter, stick it in a wall. Similarly, I am an electrician, so if I look at the electrics, I know if they're current and up to date, if they need work. I know enough about plumbing from plumbing courses. If I look at the plumbing, the boiler, I know if they need work or replacing. Yeah, and you know, roofs are generally common sense. The trick with roofs is if you look at the street and you're the only one that's not replaced the roof, you can be pretty sure that that is something that will need to be done or will need to be done soon. So it's look around at other people too, you know. Double glazing, has it got a bit yellow? In which case it's a bit cheap double glazing that might want to get replaced. Yeah, so the survey is essential. Work out the condition of the property, what it's going to cost to get it up to standard. If that's for you to live in, that's fine, that's so much. But even as a business, again, you need to know what that costs. Then you're looking at the price of the house. Is it worth what they're asking for? Is it worth what we've agreed? Because if you go in and say the house is £200,000, you think it's only minor cosmetic damage, just needs a bit of paint and you can live in it. But suddenly the surveyor finds the floor's rotten and it's 20 grand's worth of work to replace the floor. Obviously you've got to drop the price down, and that's what the survey is there for, is to safeguard you, to make sure if there's any problems, it's found before you exchange contracts and certainly before you hand over any money. You might still want to buy the house but at a discount, or you might just pull out altogether. That's your choice. But the survey, especially for people without the sort of technical sort of skills in looking at houses, is essential. I mean, the survey is essential. It's who does it, I guess, is the difference. And so I can survey a house even though I'm not a surveyor, where if you're new to the industry or just a private individual with no knowledge, then a survey is invaluable. It'll keep you out of a lot of trouble, and it's worth the little bit of cash. So the caveat to that is if you're doing a lot of auction buying and you're looking at literally hundreds of houses every year like I do, you can't get a professional survey in, and you need to train up so you can do it yourself. There's nothing worse than buying a house and working out you've got something a bit wrong. And I've had it before, you know, I thought roof needed repaired and it needed replacing. It was a few extra thousand, cutting to my profit a little bit, but I mean, not the end of the world. But you don't want to do that too often because, you know, you're here to make a profit and to make a living. So yeah, surveys are important. If you're not comfortable in doing them yourself, get a professional in, although then you're going down the private treaty route a lot more because you can't do the rounds like you can on the auctions. But if you train yourself and invest in yourself, becoming your own surveyor is ideal because it saves you a fortune, and you get to a point where you know what you're doing and you don't need a surveyor. And they say they're so limited in scope because they won't move things, they won't look in things, so you're quite often better doing it yourself anyway. Anyway, I hope that was useful. See you on the next one. Bye bye. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Thanks. See you on the next one.